Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Virtue's Last Reward. Last time we returned to the initial path I was choosing at the beginning of the game. Where we, tried to simp and ally with Alice, but she was having none of that and she betrayed us. And then we went to Bee Garden and we solved that with Luna and Alice, and that was... yeah, and then we ended up seeing that Quark and Alice had Radical 6. We remembered, oh yeah, there's an IG replicator, so we were able to double that there Accelavir and save both Alice and Quark. And now we're doing that there AB game. Luna was like, I think you should ally with Alice because it would be the right thing to do. And Luna's good people. But I mean, I got to get some revenge, yo. So I chose betray. Let's see what happens.
Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
Luna and I stepped out of the AB room.
Why? What happened to... It's not fair to betray someone who isn't voting. I thought...
I feel bad for lying to her. Jesus. There was nothing I could think of to say. Even I didn't really understand why I'd picked betray instead. It almost felt unconscious, like some other part of my mind was making the decision. Stares directly at the camera. Perhaps I'd been possessed by some sort of evil spirit that had moved my finger to the betray button against my will. Okay, wow, I am not an evil spirit, thank you very much. Right, well, we should go see the results.
Really? We already know what they are. It's just simple math.
She's not wrong. Look at her eyes was more painful than any punch I'd ever taken. I turned away and almost ran toward the projector. Anything to get away from those eyes.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
This... oh, Jesus Christ. Caught that shit! Huh? What? 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 So yeah, like Kay just can't be trusted. Clover can't be trusted. Even though she chose ally. But to be fair, she saw that like her best friend had died and... I don't know. How the fuck did Alice vote?
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your...
Oh yeah, we heard that before. What? What? That's what I said. I said what? It wasn't possible. I blinked, rubbed my eyes, and looked again. No. How can Alice's vote be betray? That's not possible. Okay, that is fucking creepy as shit. Alice? That genuinely scared the shit out. She was standing inside the second room from the left. The room that should have been empty. Why? My mind was still reeling. Where did she come from? I was trying to form a sentence. She began to move toward us. From around me, I heard a chorus of muted gasps. It seemed we were united in our surprise and confusion. See? Luna, if I would have picked Ally, I'd be dead. Yeah, we'd both be dead, actually. No. No, on this path, Luna... Dang, I can't go back and see the results, can I? Oh yeah, Luna didn't have 1 point. So yeah, see Luna, I would have been dead. Alice drew to a stop in front of me and glanced up at the display.
Thought you'd get an easy couple points, huh?
What happened?
Not so easy when you have to look your victim in the eye, is it? Coward.
The fuck you! Me, a coward? You've got some balls saying that to me after you picked Betray. Why are you even here?
You gave me the antivirus, didn't you?
Oh, you're gonna betray the dude that saved your life? Well, fuck you.
Tenmyoji told me. Thank you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, honestly.
But you should still be under the effects of the anesthetic.
Yes, well, I still am. A bit. I have a throbbing headache, and I can barely stand. It's horrible. I'm more resistant to anesthetics than most people. A result of my training. I have a feeling Zero Senior knew that. They gave me way more than the standard dose of that gas when they kidnapped me. In any event, a few minutes ago I woke up in the infirmary. Tenmyoji explained what was going on, and I got here as fast as I could.
So it was immediately after we entered the gate, like, so you showed up right after we'd gone into the AB room?
Yes. Right in the nick of time, too. About 10 seconds before the deadline, as I recall.
You did that just so you could betray us?
Right.
Well, at least you're being honest about it, bitch.
What? Don't I get to do that? I mean, it turned out to be the right thing to do, didn't it? You two chose betray. If I'd stayed back there, I'd have lost 2 points.
So you're saying it was self-defense?
It's only 2 points! If we would have listened to Luna, Sigma'd be dead!
Yes.
You're full of shit. Self-defense my ass. You chose Betray because you wanted out. You had 6 BP. If I'd picked Ally, you would have had 9. That's what you were trying to do, right?
So what if I was?
Are you serious? You would have killed me. Look, I only have 1 BP. You were this close to murdering me. Just admit it. You were planning to kill me so you could escape.
Don't be stupid. I knew you'd choose betray. There was...
Tell the truth.
That is the truth. Why am I the only one getting the 3rd degree here? Look at those results. 2 other people just tried to kill someone.
Fi and Dio. I mean, it's kind of agreed that Dio is a piece of shit. Fi genuinely was acting in self-defense. Because Dio is a piece of shit.
Yes. If Dio had chosen ally, Fi would have killed Tenmyoji. And if she'd chosen ally, Dio would have killed her.
Well, let them handle their own thing. Like, this all this whataboutism. Like, why am I being held accountable for my actions? What about? No, shut up.
I don't want to be rude, but it looks like Clover and Kay tried to trick one another. Not that it seems to have worked. If either one had chosen ally, The other one would have 9 BP right now.
I guess we're all just dishonest pricks. I turned to look at the results again. Before I only been looking at my own. Oh yeah, that's right, because Quark seemingly did ally himself. So that, like, yeah, to prevent Dio from doing betray, because Dio was all downtrodden. Because when it's like, oh, you guys picked ally, he was like, yeah, I guess we did. And of course, like, yay, Miss Luna, we all got 5 points now. And Dio was pissed because he's a little bitch. Before I'd only been looking at my own, I hadn't realized that there was only one word all across the roster: betray. Whatever trust we managed to build had fallen apart. Everyone was suspicious of everyone else. Had it been the bombs? Or had it been something else? Whatever the reason, if it kept up, we'd never manage to escape. We'd be trapped in a cycle of 0-point rounds for the rest of our lives. Something had to be done. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. Alright guys, pay attention. You've probably already all figured this out, but we can't keep going like this. If we don't start being a little more trusting, we're never going to get out of here. We need to work together. Might as well have been talking to a wall.
My apologies, Sigma, but I need to think on something for a bit. I would appreciate being left alone.
Okay.
I'll be leaving too. Things are getting a little too intense here for my delicate constitution. Sorry.
Dio!
Well, in that case...
It too, Fi?
Yeah, sorry.
Without another word, she turned and left the warehouse. Dio and Kay quickly followed suit.
See? There's your answer. In the end, everyone's just thinking about themselves. So I would appreciate it if you could not treat me like I'm the only villain here.
I mean, he has a personal attachment to this. Okay? That's why he's pissed. It's his life on the line. Okay? Witch.
Come on, Clover. Let's go.
Hold on! I'm coming! Are you feeling okay? I was really worried, you know?
I watched them walk away, Clover practically jumping with delight to have Alice back. Before long, they reached a yellow door and disappeared beyond it.
Everyone's gone.
You aren't going to leave too?
No,
Are you sure? I chose betray.
I know. But I still believe in you, Sigma.
And you know, the fact that if I did choose ally, I'd be dead. Just saying.
I think your hand must have just slipped or something,
Yeah, it slipped.
right?
My chest hurt, and when I blinked, I felt something hot and wet prick the corners of my eyes. Luna, I bit my lip. Before I could think of anything to say, the metallic rumble of the doors closing echoed through the warehouse.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 3 of the Ambidex game will be the Star Round. Star keys are required to open the gates. There is no set limit on usage of the Star keys. The Ambidex gates can be opened as many times as the players wish to open them.
So, I mean, technically then, on this round, they could all just like agree to work together to make sure everyone can get 9 points. As many times as we want, huh?
Yes, as long as we have the star keys. That means we can keep playing the AB game over and over, too. Sigma, could you show me your bracelet?
Why?
Do you remember what Zero Jr. said?
As soon as the game's closed, your colors get all shown.
Oh no, because they need to do an escape room and then the AB game.
The parent solo assignments hop around a bit too.
Yeah, I remember. Sorry, that was a yawn. Let's see here. I'm a cyan pear. What about you?
I'm a magenta pear.
I wonder what the others are.
They could be anything, I suppose. We won't know until we have a look.
You've got about 80 minutes until the next set of chromatic doors open. So what should we do now?
Everyone else has gone off on their own.
Yeah. Physically and emotionally. I really don't like how this is going. It won't matter how many times we repeat the AB game if nobody trusts anybody else. We'll never be able to get out of here.
Maybe it would help if we all had a common goal. Something to unite our hearts and minds.
Yeah, but we've already got something like that. We all want to get out of here. That seems like a pretty clear goal to me, but everybody chose betray. Including me.
Well, what if we have an enemy?
An enemy?
Yes, a common foe. Like the person who set the bombs, for instance.
After coming back from the lab, I told her about the bomb while she gave Alice and Cork the Accelavir. Yeah, that might work. If we can figure out which one of us planted those bombs, then everyone else would work together against them.
Right.
But how do we figure out who it is?
Well, do you have any clues?
Luminol! Luminol! Clues, huh? Oh, and that. That's right! The memory card! I pulled it out of my pocket and held it out toward her.
What's this?
I told you, a memory card. It was under the bomb we found in the lab. I think whoever set the bomb dropped it.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what's on it, though. We couldn't find any kind of memory card reader.
Oh. I guess we can't really use it then. Oh. Wait a second. You know what? I think I might have seen something.
Huh?
Yes, I remember. The infirmary. I saw it when I was searching the infirmary with Theo and Quark. There was a memory card just like that one.
Then...
Yes. I think we can see what's on it. The computer there should be able to read it.
Luna and I exploded into the infirmary, nearly running into Alice, Clover, and Ten Myoji. Quark was there as well, of course, but he was just as we'd left him, asleep on the bed.
What are you doing here?
I opened my mouth to retort, then thought better of it. If I really wanted people to start trusting each other, well, real change starts at home. Oh my god. Are you looking at the man in the mirror? Are you hoping that he'll change his ways? Are you trying to make the world a better place? Are you looking in the mirror and making a change? Sha-na-na, na-na-na, na-na-na-na-na. As quickly as I could, I explained the second bomb in the memory card and how we'd come to the infirmary in hopes that we could discover the contents of the latter.
Okay.
Then
head.
Right. Just as Luna had said, there was a small slot under the screen, exactly the right size to fit a memory card. Within moments, the screen was filled with what appeared to be random letters. What is this?
6 rows, 22 letters each.
It looks like the odd rows use one set of letters, and the even rows use another set. In other words, the first 2 rows just repeat. Yeah.
Is this some kind of code or something?
It doesn't look random to me. I think there might be a pattern. I just don't know what it is.
Was there anything else on there? No, it doesn't look like it.
So all we get is this gibberish. Hey Alice, you haven't said anything for a while. What's up?
Does any of this look familiar to you, Clover?
What do you mean?
Have you seen something like this before? Maybe during your training?
Training? Oh yeah, in this path he doesn't know that she's a agent.
This is...
So you do recognize it.
All right, knock it off, you two. How about you share it with the rest of the class?
Alice sighed and stretched her neck from side to side.
I believe this is an encoded message from a terrorist organization.
What?
They call themselves the Myrmidons.
Myrmidons? For some reason I felt like I'd heard that name before. You have!
What are the Myrmidons?
Put simply, they're a bunch of thugs who are trying to destroy or dismantle most of human civilization.
So this thing we're looking at, you think it's theirs?
Well, they have a number of different codes, but I do think this is one of them.
Then the bomb? It was set by one of the Myrmidons, wasn't it?
Yes. Well, I can't say for sure, of course, but it seems likely.
So Dio is setting the bombs. So was that what he was doing then? Did he set off the bombs? Like, with that transfer, did he set off the bombs in the facility? Killing Kay, Clover, and Tim Yoji? Damn, I have got a ton of questions for you. But let me start with this one. What the heck does that thing say?
I don't know.
What?
How am I supposed to decode it? I don't have the key. Without a key, it would take literally hundreds of years to decode.
Just be like Lotus. Like, you know, she can crack codes and stuff, you know?
What about you, Clover?
Well, if Alice doesn't know how, I sure don't.
See.
Not much we can do then. We can come back to that code stuff later. I've got another question. Alice, Clover, who the hell are you? Why do you know about this code?
That's...
You told me your job was to eliminate enemies of the state or something like that. Just what the hell kind of a job is that? I think it's time you told us what you do.
Sorry, but I can't.
Why not?
Because you might be one of them. You might be the person who set the bomb.
That's idiotic. Of course I'm not.
Really? And where's your proof? For all I know, you're my enemy. I can't tell you anything.
I'm not your enemy. I'm your ally. I'm your friend. I just want all of us to get out of here. Just please tell us. Please. We need to find out who did this so we can all escape. But we have too little information. We need your help. Fine. If you won't tell us about yourself, then just tell us about the Myrmidons. What else do you know about them?
I'm sorry.
Before I could think, she leapt up and ran out of the room. Hey, wait, Alice! I took off after her.
How long are you going to keep following me?
Until you tell me what you know.
Then why don't you just ask Clover?
Clover?
You already know she works with me.
Well, yeah.
Then why don't you...
I wanted to hear it from you.
Why?
That's a good question. Remember the crew quarters? Or this garden? We got paired up for 2 separate rounds. That means I've spent more time with you than anybody else here. Maybe that's it. I guess I'm just curious about you.
What are you talking about?
Oh my god. She spun around to hide it, but I caught a blush of red on her cheeks. We walked down the path to where it ended next to the pond. I stayed silent. Alice sat down on the bench. We gazed at the smooth surface of the pond for several long minutes before she began to speak.
You don't hate me?
What? Why?
I tried to kill you.
You mean in the AB game?
Yes. I was so scared. Who wouldn't be? Kidnapped and locked up, forced to play some sort of bizarre game. And then we found that bomb. I know I probably sounded calm, but as soon as we found that thing, all I wanted to do was run away from it as fast as I could. Things just went downhill from there.
What do you mean?
I remember hearing that Quark had collapsed and running to the infirmary with everyone else. When I got there, I realized I couldn't understand what anyone was saying. And everything looked... I don't know how to describe it. It was like watching a video on fast forward, only it was real. Then I started to feel like... It's hard to explain. I guess you could say I didn't feel like I was myself, and it only got worse.
That was probably the Radical 6.
Yes, I think so. I don't remember much after that. But when I woke up in the infirmary, suddenly all that fear was back. So all I could think about was getting out of this place as fast as I could. It never even crossed my mind that it could kill you.
Like, ruining the immersion a bit. The character model here looks god-awful. Like, this looks bad.
God help me, even if it had, I don't think I would have cared. See? I'm horrible. You hate me, don't you? Just do it!
What? Do what?
Kill me! Get it over with!
What the hell, Alice? I'm not going to kill you. I don't even hate you.
You're lying! I could have killed you. I would have killed you.
Come on, calm down. No one's killing anyone. Well, that's an angle. A single tear rolled down Alice's cheek. Then another, and another, leaving shining lines across her face. I reached out, I saw her tense just slightly. Slowly, I brushed my thumb across her cheek and off, taking her tears with it. That's weird.
Why are you doing this? You know, you kind of remind me of my father.
That's who you were after, right? The people who killed your dad?
Yes.
Did they have anything to do with the Myrmidons?
Will you promise not to tell Clover that I cried?
Huh, come on.
If you keep your mouth shut, I'll tell you what you want to know. About myself. And about the Myrmidons. Deal?
Sure. My lips are sealed.
Really?
What, crying? I don't remember any crying.
Good. All right then.
Alice took a deep breath and began. Oh, so are we getting an ending? What's gonna happen then? Because nobody has enough points to escape. And the Radical Six has been cured from Quark and Alice, so... But there was Clover's ending where everybody was dead, seemingly from committing suicide. Anyway, Alice's story. My father is Egyptian, but my mother is French. They met while my mother was in Egypt on vacation and married shortly thereafter. When I was 3, we all moved to the US. My father was a scientist, and his field was cloning. He was recruited by an American lab, which was why we moved. Both of my parents had used English around me from the time I was born, so I didn't have any problems adapting to life in the United States. By my 9th birthday, we'd been there for 6 years. That was when it happened. In the middle of the day, my mother showed up at school. Oh my god, the hair, the natural hair, because, okay. Egyptian, African, oh, you love to see it. Her eyes were red and puffy, but she didn't say anything to me on the drive home. When we arrived, there were several policemen there to meet us. My father had always been a very punctual man, and when dinner time came and went with no sign of him, even I began to realize something terrible had happened. It wasn't until several years later that I finally learned the truth. My father's lab had been attacked by terrorists, and he had been kidnapped. For the rest of my childhood, my mother raised me by herself. I didn't realize it then, but it must have been incredibly difficult for her. As a single mother alone in a country where any relatives were a transatlantic flight away. She did her best not to let me see it, but every so often when she thought she was alone, the mask would fall away, and in every line of her face I could see exhaustion and loneliness. As much as I missed my father, it was those moments that made me wish more than anything that he'd never been taken. Fortunately, I was an excellent student and did especially well in math. I earned a full ride scholarship straight out of high school and spent the next several years studying. After graduation, I took a job with the Department of Defense, hoping that they might have the resources to help me look for my father. I was immediately assigned to the Special Office of Internal Security. Their purpose is to investigate and sometimes deal with terrorist organizations and other serious threats to the state. I could tell my mother wasn't happy about my decision, but she chose to remain silent about it. Eventually, I learned that the terrorist organization that had taken my father was none other than the Myrmidons, although at the time that name didn't mean anything to me. They were suspected of human cloning. Specifically, it was thought that they had been using cloning techniques to copy their most useful members and expand their ranks. The Myrmidons apparently believed that they could use cloning to create a new race of humans. Now, at last, I knew the reason for my father's abduction. The commander of the Myrmidons is a man named Left. We know his name and his gender, but not his appearance or his age. The Myrmidons are closely associated with a cult known as Free the Soul. We believe that Free the Soul provides their funding. But trying to pin any kind of misdeeds on the cult's leader, a man named Brother, is like trying to nail Jell-O to a wall. You can use Jell-O? Isn't that trademarked? Oh, okay. Brother is supposed to be fairly advanced in years, and rumors say he's so old he can't even get out of bed. Unfortunately, his mind seems to be as sharp as ever. At that point, I hit a wall. I knew the Myrmidons had been behind my father's kidnapping, but that was all I could learn about them. Then one day I got a tip that some of them were hiding in a building in the Nevada desert. I headed out immediately. On the way there, my car had some engine trouble and stalled out. I was trying to decide what to do when an SUV appeared out of nowhere. I'll give you one guess who was behind the steering wheel. Clover. That was the first time we met. There were 4 other people in the car with her, and when I asked them what they were doing, I got what was just about the last answer I had expected. They told me they'd been locked up inside of the very building I'd been on my way to investigate, and that they were currently in pursuit of the people who had kidnapped them in the first place. My priorities shifted very quickly. After a short discussion, I convinced them to allow me to come along. My hope was to find the people they were chasing, who I was certain were Myrmidons. In the end, however, we were unable to track them down. Akane and Santa can't be a part of that. But Timiyoji had a picture of Akane. That wasn't answered at all. Now that I think about it, like... I mean, I guess there's still Quark's ending, because in Timiyoji's ending, all we got was a letter from Quark talking about Timiyoji. I don't know. In fact, I still don't know where they might have gone. Eventually, I took Clover and her companions to SOIS headquarters. We decided that involving the police would only complicate things. After some questioning, it was determined that the people who had instigated this particular event were not connected to the Myrmidons. Okay. But they're still connected in some way because Tenmyoji has a picture of Akane. We did, however, discover that the mysterious disappearance and subsequent reappearance of several children 9 years prior was connected to Free the Soul. It was? So Ace's pharmaceutical company was working with them to investigate the ability of like creating like one common mind with the morphogenetic field, the singularity. There was also a 6th person in the SUV, although they weren't riding in it per se. A middle-aged man, who I'll just call H for now, had been bound and placed in the trunk. According to the other 4, he had been behind the disappearance of the children 9 years earlier. We also learned that his pharmaceutical company, a major player on the world stage, was effectively controlled by Free the Soul. Well, that does answer that question, like, why is a pharmaceutical company trying to do this morphogenetic field experimentation stuff? I suppose he was a member of Free the Soul and very committed to their cause. So why had he kidnapped all those children? Apparently, it had been part of an experiment designed to test the ability of certain people to access what's called the morphogenetic field. I don't imagine you've ever heard of it before, so I'll try and give you a quick rundown. Simply put, these people can access a sort of field that allows their consciousness to resonate with the consciousness of certain other people. To be honest, it might be simpler to just call it telepathy. The SOIS had heard of this particular ability before, and had actually used it in a number of investigations, so I wasn't surprised to learn of its existence. Then they tried to use it with Alice and Snake. No, not Alice, Clover and Snake. I was shocked, however, to learn that these experiments had been carried out by a member of Free the Soul. If that was the case, then Brother must have known about it. The thought of him discovering a way to control and harness that power was terrifying. It wasn't too long ago, the incident in Nevada, that another tip about the Myrmidons crossed my desk. This time it claimed that the Myrmidons intended to launch a large-scale biological terrorist attack. My bosses decided that we needed more agents to deal with a threat of that magnitude, and Clover was recruited. Because she'd been a test subject in H's experiment, we knew she had the ability to access the morphogenetic field, and we wanted to put that ability to use. After several months of training, she was sent on her first mission. She would be tasked with the infiltration and investigation of a Myrmidon cloning lab. I was assigned to be her commanding officer. I hoped that our investigation might also give me a lead on my father's whereabouts. At last, I had a chance to find out what had happened to him. I wouldn't let that chance pass me by. Perhaps that was what kept me from noticing the truth. The whole the whole operation was a trap. The lab was fake, and Clover was captured almost immediately. I got there as fast as I could, but when I arrived, the building was only an empty shell. All the conspirators who had pretended to be researchers and the like had already fled. I searched frantically for Clover until at last, in a basement room, I found her. She had been tied to a chair, but on the floor next to her was another body. It was my father. He looked as if he'd just been dumped there, and when I got to him, his body was already cold. He was covered in dark, ugly bruises. It wasn't until later that I learned he had died from ruptured organs and internal bleeding. They had beaten him to death. As soon as Clover had been captured, a Myrmidon in a mask had come to visit her. He said that unless she wanted to end up like my father, she would leave them alone and tell her masters at the SOIS to do likewise. In retrospect, they must have known who I was and who my father was. That was why they killed him. Perhaps they thought they were sending a message to me, or that once he was gone, I'd lose my reason for chasing them. They were very, very wrong. I took Clover with me and left. I tried to console myself with the fact that I had, at least, been able to save her. Sometime later, I received a call from the coroner. He told me there was something I needed to see. There in the morgue was my father, cold and pale on a steel table. I could barely stand to look at him, but the coroner insisted. On his arm were 2 rows of numbers comprised of 8s and 9s. What? It took me a moment to recognize my father's handwriting. He had carved them into his own skin. Well, that wouldn't be handwriting. I mean, if you're carving them. Okay. On his chest was another message, but they were letters this time, not numbers. Not many, just enough to make a short sentence. I love you, Alice. Well, he had a lot of time on his hands, but yeah, like, that's just bizarre. Oh, I'm getting beaten to death. Let me carve a message to my daughter in my own skin. I broke down crying right there in the morgue. They were the first tears I'd shed since the operation had started, and there was no stopping them. There would be no forgiveness. Not for the monsters who'd put my father through this. They destroyed my family. I would make them pay, even if I had to die to do it. That night, I made a promise to myself. I would avenge my father. It didn't take long to figure out that the numbers he'd written were latitude and longitude. They pointed to a chemical factory that had been disguised as an abandoned building. Further investigation revealed that it was the mother lode we'd been looking for, the headquarters of the Myrmidons. I think my father must have known how things would turn out. Knowing he was going to die, he'd written the directions to our enemy's fortress on his own body. He sacrificed too much for me to waste this opportunity with recklessness. This time our operation would succeed. This time I wouldn't let my excitement put Clover or any of my other agents in danger. So we took our time, we gathered information, we did our research, and we planned. Always good things to do. Finally, we were ready. December 25th, 2028 was going to be the day we finally set foot inside the Myrmidon stronghold. But then on the 22nd, only 3 days before the operation was scheduled to begin, a man in a gas mask appeared. So you inhaled that gas, passed out, and woke up here in the AB room?
Yes. Well, there it is. Everything that's happened with the Myrmidons and me. I left a few of the details out, of course, but you get the idea.
Yeah. Thanks. She gave me a sad sort of smile and stood up.
We should go back.
Not yet. Your story explained a lot, but there's still one big question.
Which is?
Who here is a Myrmidon? One of us planted the bombs, and based off the code we found, it's pretty clear that person is a Myrmidon, right?
Yes.
And I agree that we need to figure out who they are.
What do you propose we do?
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Do you have any clues?
Clues? Well, if I could decrypt that code, it might tell us something, but...
How can we do that?
I told you. We need a key. Without that, it's pointless.
What's a key?
A key is a key. It allows you to sort of unlock a code. Myrmidons usually use this huge string of numbers as a key.
Wait. A long string of numbers? Could that be... Yo, let's go. Seven 7815361098838094241990551.
What the hell?
Yeah, this isn't going to help her suspicion of you. Oh, I didn't read that in time. I was almost as surprised as she was. The numbers had just kind of appeared in my mind, and I was saying them before I knew what I was doing. Alice looked at me incredulously, and I stared back.
Where did... Wait. Can you say that again?
7815361098838094241990551.
That's 198,449,351 to the third power.
Oh, what? That's what I said. I said what?
That number you just told me. Prime factor decomposition on that number gets you 198,449,351 to the third power.
Is that a prime number? You're talking about reducing an integer to a series of prime numbers that you multiply together to get it, right? Like if you have 30, then you get 2 times 3 times 5, right? Yo, prime factorization! Didn't I do a crash course on this at one point in an LP?
Exactly. You probably learned that in junior high, right?
I did, actually, yes. So you're saying that... I wasn't even paying attention to how she was saying it. 198,449,351 is a prime. And if you multiply it by itself 3 times, you get... Yeah, I don't know how many places that is, or like what the like prefix or suffix for that big ass number would be. Let's just call it 7815361098838094241990551.
Yes.
Don't tell me you just did all of that in your head.
I did do all of that in my head. Simple mental arithmetic.
What? No way. That's impossible.
I told you. I'm better at math than most people.
That's not better at math.
Look at you. You just recited a huge string of numbers. That seems pretty astounding, too. Where did you find that number anyway?
I am yawning. Sorry about that. I didn't know what to say. What would I tell her? That it just came to me?
Can't tell me, huh? Fine. I'm pretty sure that's the key to the code, though. I know the Myrmidons use prime factors for their keys.
They do?
And there aren't a lot of 25-digit numbers that turn out to be the third power of a prime number. I think there's a very good chance that number you memorized was specifically created by someone. Could
you explain that with small words?
Well, look at the prime factors of your number. 198,449,351 to the third power. I think that's our hint for cracking the code. You still don't get it? Try to remember the code we saw in the infirmary. What did it say on the monitor?
I think the first row was... How do you remember that shit? CQUJHNMTEONERAXDFMOIOVP.
And the second row?
BYOLWXYPXSVZEQGTKRTLED. I think. Then they just repeat.
Wow, you've got a pretty impressive memory. We could really use someone like you back at the...
Well, keep going. How do we decode that?
You use 198,449,351 to point you to the right letters.
How do we do that?
Well, the first number is 1, so take the first letter. The next number is 9, so go 9 letters over from the first one. Then 8 from that one. Just keep going until you get something. Make sense?
I ran over what she'd said in my head. The prime number Alice had given me was 198449351. So what would we get if we picked out letters like she'd explained? The first letter would be C from the top left. Then you'd move 9 to the right, which would give you Q. Then 8 more to the right. Eventually we'd get a word. And that word was... We get 6 chances. Code sheet won't be displayed when you input your answer, so it is very wise to solve it now. Key is... Okay, wait, let me do this. Okay, 198449351. Remember, the key is 198449351. Closing this window will take you to the input screen. Oh, I thought you would keep up that window too. Can't you just throw it on a memo for me? I'm sorry, an archive for me? I guess not. Wow, they won't even let me go back. Alright. Found the thing online. So Q9 is going to be a U. I mean, well, or not. No, first letter is C. What's wrong with me? C, and then 1, 2. O, then 8, 1. M, 4, L, E, R, T, Complert. Did I do something wrong? Oh, I missed the 3. So it's so I got completed that time. That makes more sense. It does, like, it is an actual word and it fills out all the spaces. Thank you. Okay. I did it. Completed. That's it. That's the answer.
Completed? Are you sure?
Yeah. I did exactly what you told me to do, and the word I got is completed. Let me put everything back the way it was. Okay. Still recording just fine. Did I? Well, actually, it's completed, completed, completed. Oh. 3 completeds. The code and the letters repeat every 2 lines. It just repeats.
Well, I can't remember the code like you can, but if you're certain, I believe you.
I'm definitely certain.
I wonder what completed is supposed to mean, though.
What? Aside from the obvious, you mean? I'm guessing here it means mission complete? So that's what the transmitter was for.
Huh? What are you talking about? What transmitter?
I barely even heard her. Suddenly my mind was full of memories that hadn't been there a moment before. It was like a wave had washed away the sand, revealing a bed of precious gems underneath. Oh, that's a lot of stuff.
Oh, Holy Father, Holy Brother, Holy Master, my sacred mission is at last complete. With these 2 hands, mankind is saved. I am your will made flesh. In your name, I give thanks.
Damn it. Why hadn't I realized it before? I could remember a series of numbers, but not this? At least I remembered it now. Dio was a member of the Myrmidons. And not just any member, he was their leader. That meant he had to be the one who planted the bombs.
Hey, are you listening to me?
Yeah.
Then answer my question. What the hell was that? What's this about a transmitter?
I didn't trust myself to try and explain it to her. More than likely, she'd just think I was insane. Even I could barely make sense of the sudden influx of new information.
Wait. Don't tell me you're one of the Myrmidons.
If I was, do you really think I'd reveal myself like this?
Point.
Out of nowhere, Clover appeared.
Oh, there you are. I've been looking all over for you.
Really?
We're all down in the Floor B warehouse. Well, all of us but Luna and Quark.
Why?
We've still got 45 minutes until the white doors open.
I know that.
Oh, okay. Hey, wait a minute. I thought you, Kay, and Quark didn't know about the white doors.
Tenmyoji told us about them. He said he'd show us where they were, so we all followed him down to the Floor B warehouse.
I'm assuming you left Quark with Luna?
Yeah. Anyway, when we showed up, Vi and Kay were already there.
So?
Well, all of a sudden, Vi, Tenmyoji, and Dio all started yelling at each other.
What?
Why? Did something happen?
According to Clover, the last AB game had been the cause of their fight. Even though Tenmyoji only had 1 BP, Vi had chosen Betray. They started to fight, and since Dio had pressed Betray on behalf of his team, eventually he got dragged in too.
That seems odd. Vi only had 1 BP too. Her choice seems like a perfectly valid defensive move.
Ugh. Just come with me. Kay's trying to calm them down, but there's only one of him.
Okay. Come on, Alice, let's go.
Coming!
All 4 of them were still there when we arrived. They seemed to have calmed down a bit, but the tension in the air was almost visible. I felt like I'd stepped into a room full of flammable gas. Even the smallest spark could turn the whole place into a raging inferno. Even Kay, usually so calm and collected, was standing ramrod straight with his hand balled into a fist at his side. I looked at Alice, pursed my lips, and then headed over to the angry knot of people occupying most of the room. Clover told me what's going on. This whole thing is stupid. You need to knock it off.
Stupid? What about this is stupid? We're talking about my life, you self-righteous dick.
I know. But yelling at each other isn't going to solve your problems. The best thing for us to do right now is to trust each other and get through this. Wouldn't you agree?
Hard to trust someone who tried to kill me.
Same to you. I told you letting Dio vote was a stupid idea. What did you think he was gonna do? You might as well have pressed the button yourself.
I couldn't just leave Quark alone.
That's no excuse. And where do you get off telling me I shouldn't have picked Betray? Did you even think that through? What, I was supposed to pick Ally? If I'd done that, I'd be dead right now.
I could say the same thing to you. Damn good thing Dio didn't choose Ally.
Please.
I mean,
that's
if
enough
you would have
for both
just,
of you.
like, if you would have just listened to her in the first place, like, don't let Dio vote. That way you'll default to Ally, I'll pick Ally, we'll all be fine. But, no.
Sigma's right. This isn't the time to be bickering with each other.
Oh, you don't get to talk. You tried to betray Clover and escape on your own.
Perhaps. But I think that's better than merely killing someone.
Well, I only did it so that she wouldn't kill Tenmyoji.
Fucking liar. Arg. God damn it. Enough already. I roared with fury and my voice echoed and rebounded off the walls of the warehouse. Everyone fell silent. I didn't know how long that silence would last, so I decided to put it all on the table. There was only one way I was going to be able to take control of the situation. Guys, listen to me. We really don't have time for this. I was met with a number of glares, but I soldiered on. See, the thing is, I figured out who planted the bombs.
What? Is this what you were talking about earlier?
Sort of, yeah. I know which one of you it is.
Well, spit it out then.
Please, explain what's going on here.
I don't think I need to. They're going to admit their guilt in just a few minutes.
What?
You're all going to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Or I guess I should say, Dio's mouth.
What are you on? You think I set those bombs?
Yes, I do.
Hey, if you're gonna accuse me, you better have some pretty damn good evidence, pal.
I'm not accusing you. I'm just stating a fact.
Oh yeah? Where the hell did you get that fact?
Fun as it was, I knew taunting alone wouldn't be enough to make Dio confess. He just played dumb. He was good at it, and I'd get nothing. That meant I was going to have to trick him. Well, you see, I'm actually from Free the Soul.
Free the Soul? What's that? Some kind of hippie shoe company?
Don't play dumb, Dio. Or should I call you Left? Brother ordered me to come here. To keep an eye on you. It was quick, but for just a moment I saw his eyes twitch. I leapt on that moment of weakness like a hungry dog on a steak. Damn, Sigma. Fine. Skepticism is understandable, admirable even. But perhaps this will convince you. I pressed forward, pulling out every fact I could remember. I told Dio about Brother's background and how his younger brother Left had been murdered. I mentioned casually that the Myrmidons were all clones of a single person. So? Still not convinced? How about this? 78153610988380942419905551. Do a little prime factor decomposition on that, and you'll get 198449351 to the third power. If I'm not who I am, then how on earth could I possibly know that?
What? No, that's not possible.
Finally. So let's start over, shall we? I was sent here to watch your every move. It seems our wise and noble brother didn't trust you. He suspects betrayal.
No! You're lying!
I assure you I'm not. But if you don't believe me, why don't you go outside and call him yourself with your transmitter?
No. No! You have to be lying! Brother trusts me! That's why he chose me for this mission! Why would he make me the leader of the Myrmidons if he...
Huh? Sorry, what was that?
Said, why would he have made me the leader of the Myrmidons if...
I grinned.
Wait. What the hell? Are you fucking kidding me?
Damn, you are simple. Sorry, Dio. I've never even seen Brother.
What the hell was all that? How did you know all those things?
Dunno. Maybe I was divinely inspired.
Oh, give me that shit!
What's going on?
What are these Myrmidons?
Dio and I stared at one another while Clover and Timioji quickly explained to Phi and K about the memory card and the number 2 bomb, and about the code we'd found that was from a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons.
So you mean to say someone from the Myrmidons planted the bombs?
And Dio pretty much just admitted to doing it?
Yeah.
Bastards. I'll never forgive you.
I heard a low, furious muttering behind me and turned to see Alice, her lips pulled back into a snarl.
I am going to kill you!
Her voice rose to a scream as she charged toward Dio. He ducked out of the way smoothly and pulled something from his pocket.
Whoa there. I like my women a little feisty. You're taking it a little too far, sweetheart. Tone it down.
What?
You see this? You know what it is, don't you?
Oh my god. Is that the detonator?
Exactly. And I assume you know what happens if I press this button?
Yes. I think I do. I'm guessing it'll set off both of the bombs.
Well, I wouldn't say both.
You mean there's still a #1 bomb we haven't found?
Correct. And there's one more, too.
No. There are 4 bombs?
Exactly. I planted 4 bombs. They're the ones numbered 1, 2, and 3, but there's also one more. Bomb number 0. Add all that up, and you're looking at about 4 tons of explosive power. Those go off, and it's all over. That's enough oomph to turn this whole place into a smoking crater.
Aren't you forgetting something?
That'd kill you too.
So, I'm ready for that. I've got spares.
Spares? Is that what Sigma was talking about?
Yeah, clones.
I heard Alice whisper something to Clover.
Let's go, Clover. Show him all that training wasn't for nothing.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Right.
Before I had a chance to ask them what was going on, they moved.
Die, you bastard! Yeah!
She roared and leapt toward Dio, Clover following just behind. Alice threw a punch at Dio's face, and as he dodged, Clover spun out from behind her. I wish that was animated. Dio grunted and turned to focus on Alice, but Clover darted in and snatched the detonator from his hand.
Clover, get him! Right!
Stop him in the nuts!
Catch!
Huh? Maybe don't throw the... Dude, drop the Accelavir! Do not throw him the detonator! Oh my god. Before I could respond, Clover had thrown the detonator at me. I scrambled to grab it out of the air and held it to my chest.
Damn it! Stop! Let me go! Still let go of me, you asshole!
Kill him. Yelling didn't do him any good, and Dio found himself subdued by the skillful teamwork of Alice and Clover. Strangely though, once they had a hold of him, he stopped struggling. I was reminded of a gazelle with its neck in the mouth of a lion. Had he surrendered? Or did he have some trick up his sleeve? It didn't feel right. I didn't have to wait long for my misgivings to prove true. The detonator in my hand suddenly began to flash. What?
Ha! Serves you right.
What are you laughing at?
You, her, all of you. God, you're stupid.
What? Why?
See that detonator you threw to Sigma? You activated it. If it gets more than a meter away from me, it sets itself off. We figured someone might try to take it away, so we put in a little safeguard.
Then just walk right up to him.
Since you two were kind enough to take it away from me, the bombs have gone from remote control to countdown timer. Go ahead and destroy the detonator if you want. Won't make any difference now. The bombs are gonna go off no matter what.
How long do we have?
About 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Oh no.
My condolences.
What can we do to stop them?
I told you that already. First, we need the device that allows us to input information. Then we plug it into each bomb and enter the codes.
Hey Alice, who the hell are you? How do you know all this?
None of your damn business. Just tell me where the input device is.
Well, that's none of your damn business. Fuck! Stop!
Yeah, just keep breaking like bones in his body. The finger is usually good.
Of course.
That's the plan.
Please, stop!
Just tell me what I want to know.
Okay, I'll tell you. It's in my coat, the right-hand pocket.
Clover, check it out. Right.
She nodded and started digging through his pockets. After a few minutes...
It's no use. There's nothing here. Did you lie to me?
No. I swear, keep looking.
Oh, wait. There is something in here.
Clover pulled her hand from his pocket and held it out. Is that a pill? Like for medicine?
Hey, what is this?
Huh? I can't see it. Bring it over here.
Clover frowned and moved closer to Dio, holding the pill out toward him. Suddenly he moved his right hand, snaking out to grab the pill from Clover's hand. Before anyone could react, he shoved it into his mouth. It's a cyanide pill. God damn it. Heard a tiny crack as he bit down on it. Almost immediately, he grimaced in pain.
Shit!
What? What was that?
Poison, I guess.
What?
If you're gonna show him, why would you hold it directly to his face? Clover, you are stupid!
Damn! How could I be so stupid?
Well, make his last few moments painful as possible. Stomp him in the nuts. His eyes rolled up into his head and flecks of spittle began to trickle out from the corner of his mouth. I grabbed him by the hair and shook. What the hell are you doing? Where's the input device?
Lost it. In my couch. Back home.
Don't screw with me.
Fine. Don't tell us. How about you give us the deactivation codes instead?
Deactivation. You guys are persistent. Fine. Not gonna do you much good anyway. I'll tell you. But you only get one. And this is the deactivation code for Bomb 3.
I only have 1 and 0. Shift enter. Bomb 3.
Ready? LXQ LHC NMR.
If he can even be trusted. What about the other 3? Tell us the other 3. He didn't even seem to hear me.
My body will be a part of the foundation of a bright future.
His voice was weak and more foam was dribbling out of his mouth.
Such a beautiful world. May brother live in everlasting glory.
Those were the last words Dio spoke. He died with a strange, happy smile. Damn.
He only gave us the password for one of the bombs. This is bad. What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
How much time have we got?
I mean, deactivate 1. Oh, but you would need to know where it is. Yeah, I would say, like, try to deactivate 1 to mitigate the damage.
25 minutes.
Are you sure?
Yes. When he told us the time, I checked my bracelet. It said exactly 30 minutes.
You mean the bombs are gonna go off the same time the next set of doors opens?
Yes. The time on your bracelet is the time we have left.
Oh. So 25 minutes.
This isn't good. I was hoping that we might be able to escape through the white doors, but...
It takes 5 minutes for the primary door to open and close. So...
Yes, I know. There's no way we can get through them before the explosion happens.
Just be right at the door and slip in the moment they open?
Well, there's no point just standing around. We should start looking. We need 3 things. The password input device.
And the remaining 2 bombs, right?
Right.
we also need passwords for all the bombs other than number 3.
Exactly.
Maybe Dio has a note or something.
Hold on. Let me check.
She knelt down and quickly checked his pockets and sleeves and sat back on her heels, frustrated.
Damn. He's clean.
She looked pale.
Then we'll just have to hope we find it somewhere. Tenmyoji, can you go tell Luna what's happened?
Right. I'm on it.
Good. The rest of you, let's move out. We can do this. Let's go.
We all took off at a run, heading to different parts of the building. But all of our searching turned up nothing. And as we searched, the clock kept ticking. Then at last, the chromatic doors opened.
Chromatic doors have opened. 5 minutes remain until chromatic doors close.
Our time had run out. We watched the white doors open. Were they doors to heaven or to hell? The thought barely had time to flutter through my mind before everything went white. We didn't even have time to say goodbye. 1,000 emotions flooded my brain in those last moments. Why? How? How had we ended up this way? Then a blistering wave of heat like the surface of the sun itself wiped out any lingering thoughts. That was the vision he had of, like, the bomb. But it didn't have, like, Vi saying thank you or anything. My consciousness slipped away into a bottomless pool of darkness. Neither heaven nor hell, only the void. So I guess with that knowledge, we wouldn't let Dio know that we know? I don't know where you go from that. But we know that there's 4 bombs total. I'm just missing the code for the second bomb. But also, second gate is a thing I have too. So, by there being a second gate, that implies that there's going to be a first gate. I don't know. I don't know. But regardless, that is going to be it for today. Next time we're going Want to start a new loop. That was the Alice end. Huh. Just 4 more endings to go. So we're a little over halfway done with the game then. And there's... yeah, 4 endings. Oh yeah, because there was that dead end. Like right there in the middle. So I still got one more choice on Luna's path. The dead end along this middle path. And 2 more on this path. Both of which I would have to betray Alice. I guess we can get started on that next time. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. See you next time for some more Let's Play Virtue's Last Reward. Goodbye.